Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Chloe, quiet. I hope you are both well. Uh, it's Sunday. I'm streaming. I shouldn't be, but we have so much to do. And I've kind of somewhat decided that no matter what, Friday is going to be my last stream. So basically, we've got to get finished by Friday. So, yeah, extra stream today. So we've got creative power now. Squizzed, hello. We've got creative power now, but we still do not have an infinite amount of resources. We need to not necessarily fix that today, but we need to do improve it a little bit. And obviously we need to go around and put the highest tier energy hatches we can on everything now that we have an infinite amount of power. There's a few other things I need to test today as well. One thing I did test, turns out we can put the GT energy emitters directly onto the laser hatches. And it works just fine, so yeah. Not for a while, Squiz, no. I will be disappearing completely for a while. You doing good? Just doing housework, then go to Stone Block 4? Nice. You're still enjoying it then, I take it. Right, I have started doing a few other things as well, and there's a few things that I have realised that I should have done a while ago and didn't. One of those things being... where are we? This. I opted not to do this because I didn't see a point in it. What I didn't think about was the fact that we can get these. The Mega Bulk Item Storage Cells, which basically we can store an infinite amount of items in these. So rather than making 64k and 256k item cells, I could have just been making these for free, essentially. So that's the first thing we're going to do today. So yeah, that's the first thing we need to do today is get the creative storage data. For that, we need 16 blocks of activated netherite. I did make a little bit of activated netherite before the stream, so we should be able to do that easily enough. But I've also realized we're running out of a few items as well. One of them was quartz, which we, as you can see, are still running out of. I have started the process of speeding that up. But the process is basically finished. And it's set up over in the void dimension, which we'll go over to in a minute. First of all, though, I need to get the creative storage data. Also, can I just ask, does anybody remember me making a second tier 10 microminer? Because I only ever remember making one of these. And now somehow we have two. So not only are we losing microminers, we're apparently duping them as well. So one of these, unless anybody remembers me making a second one of these, we are going to get rid of that. Because I definitely don't remember making one, but my memory sucks. So we'll leave it there for a minute, but we will make sure we do not use it. And if anybody, I'll ask a little bit later on, if anybody remembers me making it, then I'll keep it. If not, then we'll get rid of it. It's not like it matters too much now anyway. All right, we also need stellar creation data. We need to stack those. And it was a tier 10, wasn't it, for this? Right, one thing we also need to do, well, there's a couple of things we also need to do. We need to use some of the infinity ingots that we currently have to make some 16 amp UIV energy hatches. Right, there we go. That should go through. Yeah, we need to make some 16 amp UIV energy hatches. Like, we want to put 16 amp UIV energy hatches on basically everything that will take them. However, we need infinity ingots for that, so there's a bunch of things we need to sort out first of all. One of those things, like I say, is quartz. I have set up a little 3x3 area here and moved over a quantum ring, which has got one of the creative energy cells on it, so that we can do set stuff up, and I have made the majority of the things we need for this. The only thing we're missing is the energy hatches. But basically, this is going to produce cobble, take cobble, produce gravel. That's going to output into here, turn it into sand. The sand is then going to feed it into here to turn it into glass. The glass is then going to get stored, and then also send back out to here to electrolyze into quartz. All of those have the 1024 parallel hatches on them as well, so that will hopefully take care of our quartz issues. But there is a bunch of other things we need to do as well. And maybe play some PS5 first, hard decisions. Yeah, there's... It's nice to have options, but when you have options, it does lead to having to make decisions. Which is not always the easiest thing to do. Okay, creative storage data. So let's go and make a bunch of these. Where are we? Not down there. Over here. I think we're still making Omnium at the minute. No matter what I do, like I'm assuming this is a limitation on the machine, but no matter what I do, you cannot get this to use more than LUV tier power. Like no matter what, it will not use anything more than LUV. I've got a 4 amp UHV energy hatch on there, which I put on this morning, and it still won't go any faster. So the most we can do is like 40 Omnium in, I think it's 5 seconds it takes these to update. So we unfortunately can't get it going any faster than that, which kind of sucks. Anyway, we need to make these, which means we need circuit 2. What I'm probably actually going to do is make a storage cell for the bulk storage cells. Because we do want to have a bunch of these. Wait, do we want a bulk storage cell for the bulk storage cells? I think we do, don't we? We don't need destruction cards on these either. So we'll do that. Now, the only problem with this is that this will not go into here at the moment. Yeah, I know. I was a little gutted by that as well. Although you can store up to like 2 million buckets with a 256k. And then obviously if you go up to the 1 million, you can store up to like 8 million. So for the most part, you should be fine with that, I think. Yeah, the reason why this isn't going into here is because I never set this up to actually accept these. So I think what I'm actually going to do is set up some more, just a separate set of these. Like we've got everything set up ready for it, so we just need to actually get the drives. How you doing, by the way, Hideyoshi? So if we just do 16 of those. Shit. That's a problem. We've got to get that quartz sorted. So the next thing we've got to do after we've done this is... What are you waiting on? Wait, why have you stalled? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What we need is... cables. And we'll just set these up specifically for these. I'm not entirely sure why that's stalled. I'm assuming that has stalled because of other stuff going into wherever the hell that's crafting. Where will that be crafting? The assembler, circuit 4. I'll have to go and check on that in a minute, because that I feel like that shouldn't be doing that. Uh-huh. So this is literally just going to be those. We also need fuzzy cards. Hopefully these will craft without any problems. Perfect. So I'll go in there. And then we need a memory card. I think that puts the, yeah, just put the fuzzy cards in as well. Right, I've got to find out why that's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. But that should now have gone into one of these. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now, hopefully, if I take all of these out and then put them back in again. Well, shit. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that is something to do with... See, the problem is, if I put a fuzzy card in there... Or will that not store non-stackable items? I guess we're just going to have to do this with... Oh, I don't know. That's annoying. I was hoping I could basically just grab a bunch of them and store all of them. I guess we still can. We just need to be a little wary of how much space we're taking up in our storage system with storage cells. I'll just make a bunch of them for now. So I'll decide on what you're going to play, but after you take into consideration, do you want to play on a big screen, 4K smoothly, any game, or play on your laptop, not smoothly, only like Minecraft or 1080p? It's easy to decide, and that makes sense. Bottleneck to recipes is now the freezer. Yeah. I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but... We'll see what happens. Honestly, though, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm hoping. We'll see, but I'm hoping for us it's not going to be too bad. Or are you talking about your bottleneck currently? Alright, why are you not crafting? Huh. What? I have no idea what happened there with that then. Oh. Strange. Anyway, right. We need to do a few things. First one being... Well, first ones, I guess, being... We need a storage cell for glass. And we need a storage cell for quartz. And one thing I do need to do as well is make sure I set these on the highest priority. And Becky, thank you for the posture check. And of course, I'm making errors again because I haven't opened the overlay. Whoops. I really need to shut that off. Right, okay, so these need to be on... What are these set on priority-wise? 20,000, so we'll just put these on, like, 50,000. So that one we changed, right? What was the Awawa thing for quiet? Is actually the error? Yeah, you'll only ever see it once per stream, if at all. It's because I've got something running that basically runs a script, like a JavaScript script, but it has to be ran via the an overlay. So an overlay, one of the bot overlays needs to be active. And while I was testing, I just had it so I had to manually open it and open it in a browser window so I could see what errors were coming up. And I keep forgetting to open it. Oh no, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Like I say, all it is whenever an event happens, I was trying to set it up so I could kind of keep a database of all the kind of events and things that happen, like kind of subs, channel point redemptions, bits, things like that. And I would send all the information from that to a database. I was also going to use that so I could use it to keep track of people's IGNs for putting in the subworld and stuff like that. And while I was testing it, I kind of shifted things around a bit, and I keep forgetting to open the overlay when I open the stream, so... right, so if we just take some quartz out of there... the quartz is actually not the best thing to test this with, is it? So if we take glass out of there and put it into there, I just want to make sure it goes into the right place. I.e., it should go into here. Yes, perfect. Okay, right, so now we need 16 amp UIV energy hatches. We have the regular energy hatches. We need these. Which, this is going to be expensive to do these, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. Right, so yeah, but we are, at this point, we are going to be like a little short on some resources. So while we may have infinite power now... Oh, shit, I can't do this yet. I need monium wire. We don't have monium yet. We might have to stick with 4 amp UIV energy hatches. Ah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, we looks like we're going to have to stick with 4 amp UIV energy hatches. Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. Well, we're going to have to live with that. We haven't got monium yet. We could probably get it, but it's not a priority right now. Right, so if we just do 4 of those, we can do that at least. But yeah, there's so many things that we need to make sure that we have plenty of. Oh, speaking of which, that's another one we need to do a bulk storage cell for, is ender pearls. Because ender pearls is one of the things we are going to have to start producing lots of, because we're going to need to we're going to need to run a lot of things through the simulation supercomputers. So we kind of need to have ender pearls constantly going through there. There we go. Speaking of which, right, let's take that out of there. Oh, one of the things I did do as well is I upgraded the IO ports to the extended one so that we could transfer items out of cells a little quicker. Oh, and I upgraded the storage cells for oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, and fluorine to 256K ones. I'll show you the same account on 2 different electronics. No idea, Squizzed. You will likely only count once as a viewer, though. Enderspore in greenhouse. Enderspore? We don't have enderspores, so I can't look at that. Right, this is going to take a little while. That is fine, though. Can I have my night vision, please? Thank you. Wait, am I going the right way here? Yeah. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, we haven't got any, we haven't got any power coming to these things yet, but that is fine. All right. So that should be fine to there. And then we need to bring this up here. So yeah, but this is like, because just to keep the aesthetic of the base, and not having to worry about that, we're like any new like things we're going to be making, we're going to put into the void dimension now. Yes, my first tier 12 was the creative energy. Hopefully these are still these are actually working. Oh, it won't be because I put it in the wrong bloody place. Yes, I have creative energy now. Yeah, that won't be working because I've got it in the wrong freaking place. I think I have it. Yeah, I've got it in a pattern provider. Whoops. So, where the hell should it be? Assembler no circuit. Will it actually craft them now? Because since it couldn't put them in the other place, or will it not? No, it will craft them. Okay, good. Attempts to do monium to make this ring catalyst. Honestly, once I've got some of this stuff set up, I will potentially do the same. Nope, it's not needed there anymore. It's staying there anyway, just for posterity, I guess. Alright, so those can go there. Actually, I'm going to move these to the outer edge, I think. Just so I can actually still access them. Since we're going to be putting the creative emitters directly next to them. Now what? 4 amp UIV. We have power. Would have been nice to have done the 16 amps, but without Monium. Hey, Asanan, how you doing? No, don't worry about the long messages. I won't always get to read all of them, but I wouldn't worry about them. All right, so if we should be able to start this going. I'm kind of curious. Right, you're currently in Bender mode. We do not need you in Bender mode. We need you in Forge Hammer mode. Actually means that I'm going to have to take that out and put it back in again, I think, for you to work. Why? Or have you already? Oh, you have already worked. That explains it. Okay, so we put that. We need to output oxygen. We may need to worry about our oxygen supplies as well, by the way. We are going to want to. We are still going to want to turn this off at a certain point. Actually, no, we're probably not with the glass one, are we? We don't need to turn this off. Right. Why are the other 4 amp hatches not? Why are the other 4 amp hatches not working? I have a feeling I know, but wait, I'm looking in the wrong ones, aren't I? Yeah. Because these are the ones on UIV energy hatches yet. So I'll need to fix that ASAP. No, that's fair. That's really the main thing that matters. Oh, wait, no, there's one in the other thing as well, wasn't there? Yeah. Okay. That should give us the last one of those. Now we should be fine for glass initially and then quartz. We might need to slow... If we want to keep some glass in stock, we might need to slow the quartz down a little bit, but we'll see. Let's put that there. Wait, where did all my creative GT emitters go? Wait, where did all... Oh, fuck. I put them in the... I put them into one of the assemblers, didn't I? Oh, God, it's dark. No, I didn't put them into one of the assemblers. Wait, where did all my creative emitters go? Oh, no, they're not called creative emitters, are they? They're called infinite GT energy unit emitters. That's why I couldn't find them with creative. Oh, crap. Right, so you need to be 4 amps of UIV. Yeah, we definitely need to speed up our oxygen production as well. So maybe we do actually want to shut this off at some point. We're already up to 642,000 glass from about 20,000. Mostly we want to shut this off just so we don't end up using all of our oxygen. Until we can boost that. Because that is on my to-do list. Right, so if we say we keep, I don't know, 1 million glass and we'll turn it on again at 800,000. Oh, right, hold on. Oops. I mean, we went from like 20,000 glass to 2.9 million in since I put all that in there. That's reasonably quick. What am I doing for europium? I am doing it, getting it via, I think it's the dollar site. I'm using the dollar site microminer mission for it. It's relatively cheap. Processing the dollar sites gives you europium dust. That's how I've been getting europium dust. And then I do also have a passive fusion reactor going for it as well. But that was mostly how I've been doing it. Right, I'm going to set this to 1024. I just want to see if this is one thing that we do definitely want to shut off when we have enough. Otherwise, this is just going to go on forever. And while we want to store a lot of this, we do not need to store too much. So if we just say store 4 million of it and we'll turn it on when it drops below 3.5. Right, and we need stocking inputs. I'm actually going to move that as well. To here. Again, so we can actually like make sure the power's going in there. $1,024 nether quartz per tick. Ah, see, now we're making nether quartz. That's more like it. Is the glass keeping up? I'm going to go with no. Not in the slightest. So I think I am going to drop this down a little bit. So we are producing 8,192 glass per operation, I guess. Holy shit, that is going through the glass quickly. Oh, that's a lot of glass gone through. Holy shit. Wait wait a minute. Why is that saying gravel 4,096? But it's only running 1,024 recipes. Well, that's basically what we've got, like, for the dollar ones. It's a relatively cheap recipe, but this is confusing me. It's performing up to 1,024 recipes in parallel. Right. So how is it one cobble to one gravel? Wait, so even with parallel hatches, it runs subtick. Holy shit, okay. We might need to take this down to like 2 million or so. I didn't realize that we were also going to perform like do the subtick operations as well with it. So it's doing the same with that as well. It's performing like 4 lots of that. Yeah, we're down to... I don't know, oxygen's not going down as quickly as I thought it would. Actually not too bad. We aren't going to have any glass, though. What's the glass for? Turning into quartz. And I like to have some glass there just in case. But yeah, we're just electrolyzing the glass into quartz. Because we need a ton of quartz for making nether stars. Because we need a ton of nether stars for things, and nether stars to make. We could get the nether stars via microminer missions now, I guess. That wouldn't be too bad to do, but it's going to be considerably quicker to just craft them, honestly. Yeah, no, each of the parts of the nether quartz thing, it takes 5 nether quartz, and we were basically down to pretty much nothing in terms of quartz, so we needed to make sure we fixed that. Oh, we've got 2 million 2 million ender pearls now, at least, which is good. Right. I think we can turn that off for a minute. Use the monitors of wither data for ancient debris. I mean, we're getting wither data from, well, we're getting wither data from here. And I'm also, when I need it, I'm also just putting it through here, which is just a ton quicker. I do need to get some more iron, though, because iron was one of the things we were starting to run out of. Well, run out of is, well, I was going to say is subjective, but we're down to 63,000 at the minute, so... Alright. So let's make a bulk item storage for iron ingots. So basically anything that we have now that we're going to be using a lot of or producing a lot of, we will make bulk items, bulk cells for. So speaking of which, we need that. Circuit 2. Oh, I did upgrade the energy hatches on these, by the way, to 4-amp UHV ones, because that's what we had available. But now we can do 141 predictions in 9 ticks. This is why I need to get more of these, by the way, so we can actually constantly have the ender pearls running, because we will go through these pretty quickly. But it's taking taking 9 ticks to do 141 of those. And each one gives us 12. So 141 times 12. So 1,692 every 9 ticks, or 188 iron per tick. This is what I wanted to be able to do, basically, is so we can, like, when there's resources, I don't necessarily want to set up more passive crafting for things, because I can't really be bothered. But what I am going to do is try and set things up in such a way that we can sort out we can, like, bulk craft things very, very quickly. So yeah, we're back up to 411,000. I'll get up to a couple of million iron. We are probably going to be burning through these pretty quickly. And we're going to have to boost our production of everything for the prediction matrices as well. That's another thing we're going to need to do. Oxygen, like I say again, is another thing that we really need to make sure we're on top of. One of the other major things that I want to do right now, though, is sort out... Oh, what are you missing for infinity ingots? Hold on. Oh, Ender Dragon scales. Okay, so that's another thing we need to make sure we are putting through the simulation supercomputer. So we basically need to... This is one of the things a lot of things we're going to get from here. We can get the dragon scales from micromine emissions as well, I believe. But that's actually not too bad. And we'd get yeah, a stack and a half of those. We'd also get us a stack and a half of dragon eggs as well, which that actually might be worthwhile setting up. I'm gonna have to... I need more dragon scales at the moment, though. So we're gonna have to take this out already. Yeah, this, like I say, this is one of the things, like, we need to make... we need to make more of these simulation supercomputers, but that is something for a little bit later. One of the major things I need to do as well is upgrade this and basically redo our entire ore processing setup. Had you had a space into tag bus for terms like Purified Ancient? Well, there shouldn't be any spaces. There shouldn't be any spaces in actual tag names. Tag names should all be one word, otherwise they wouldn't be valid tag names, I don't think. The only other way I could think of to do it would be to do it kind of purified and ancient, rather than purified space ancient. That's the only other thing I could think of. Didn't you add the ancient debris tags yourself? Couldn't you just edit the tags? Oh shit, I didn't mean to delete that. QGS purified ancient debris is literally it, and it doesn't work. I don't know enough about adding tags to things to say why that isn't working. I do not know enough to do that. But yeah, what I need to do is basically tear down this entire system, or the majority of it, and redo all of this. Because once we start adding the 1K parallel hatches to things, with UIV energy hatches, once we start doing that, we're not going to be able to transfer the items quickly enough with laser IO. So what we're going to have to do is use storage buses, like basically keep the storage we have in there, possibly change, add a little bit more to it as well. Because I'd like to actually go through all of like everything that we have in there. But yeah, we'll get rid of all this, have everything going through the ME system, and actually use interfaces and storage buses, or possibly peer-to-peers and storage peer-to-peers. I don't know. We're gonna need to be able to work on up to 4,096 items at a time, which laser IO won't be able to transfer quickly enough. So we need to redo this whole thing basically. But the annoying thing is we need to redo it while we've still got stuff coming in, which is going to make life awkward. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. My backup is 20,000 dragon scales, though. We'll keep that going for a little bit longer. I do need to... We should be making a whole bunch of stuff. Now that we have dragon scales again, like a bunch of things are going to be remaking and actually started crafting. So I do like the fact that, like, even though we now have like creative storage, creative power, creative computation data, we've still got work to do, and a lot of it. So it's actually not too bad. I think the ore processing though is something that I need to get fixed like now. Because if we get this fixed and we basically start going through and processing all the ores that we have and inputting them back into the ME system and everything else, we can use this as a means of like bulk crafting or bulk producing certain materials by sending out microminer missions. But we need to be able to ensure that we are processing everything quickly enough so that nothing gets clogged up. So that's what we need to do, which means we're going to need, what, 4M UIV energy hatches on, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 places? Yeah, I've already got the creative energy cell for AE2. It is right here. Oh, that does remind me, though. That was something I wanted to test. I want to know if I can use... I'm pretty sure I can, but I want to know if I can add a peer-to-peer input directly from one of these. I'm pretty sure I should be able to, but I'm not 100% certain. So let's test it out. Right, so if we do that, because at the minute all we've got as far as UIV output from here, because we are still going to be using peer-to-peer for some things, just because it's going to be easier to continue using peer-to-peer rather than reroute cables and things to make space for the energy emitters. Marimana, hello. Right, so that's, if we do that at UIV, and we just output 1024 amps. We're gonna need to get a 1024 amp UIV or 4096 amp UIV input as well. Right, I do want to take this off here for now, so we can make sure. I've just noticed the EU level on there. 69 out of 420. Right, can I make 3 more UIV 4 amp energy hatches now? No, because we're waiting on more infinity ingots, and we're out of wither bones as well. So we're starting to run out of lots of items now. This was kind of to be expected. We knew this was going to happen. We just need to basically bulk craft a bunch of things now. And that's what I think I am going to spend, since like I say, like Friday is, whether we've finished the pack or not, Friday will be my last stream. So I'm probably going to do quite a few bits and pieces off stream as well. Right, we're going to need to do, we'll take this out of here for now, and we need wither bones as well. Wither bones can be circuit 2. Yeah, we're completely out of wither bones. We could really do with dragon scales as well. That's still 4 seconds for 102 predictions. Is not amazing. Although I guess that's 102 times 16. So 1,632 in 4 seconds, or 408 per second. That's not terrible, I guess. But yeah, we have so much work to do now, and I need to get this sorted out. I need to make sure that we get the all of the energy hatches upgraded. That means we need infinity ingots, so we need to make sure we have enough of everything for infinity ingots, which at the moment we don't have. So, hey Bubble, how you doing? I need to make sure this is gonna actually work, because that's currently our only UIV output. Or UIV input, I guess, technically. But yeah, getting bulk crafting a bunch of this stuff is definitely going to be necessary. Right, let's figure out how I'm going to do this. Because basically, like I say, the idea is going to be that we're gonna use stocking hatches in a similar fashion to how we're using them now, in that all of the ores are going to get stored on a sub-network, and there's going to be sub-networks on for each of these. Yes, we have creative power now. But yeah, we're going to have basically sub-networks for each of these. So this one will take in all of the crushed ores. And it will just make it so we can only see the crushed ores in this storage system. I might do it in such a way that, well, we're gonna like with the storage bus. I could do it with tagged storage buses. I'm almost tempted to do it with, just so we've got enough control with like having storage buses like this with capacity cards in them, and then that way we can at least control exactly what we're processing. And then we'll obviously have ME output buses that send the outputs directly back into the main subnetwork. And then I think that's the way we're going to do this. but it's going to mean basically tearing out most of what we've got under here at the moment. And also making sure we have, before we start processing anything, we need to make sure we have bulk storage cells for everything, just so it doesn't clog up our main storage. Did I get the big assembly? No, not yet. We're kind of focusing on getting like the basic resources, because now that we have more power, we're going to be burning through resources a lot quicker. So we need to be able to make sure that we can keep up with the demand for them. So there's no point in just like slapping a 4 amp UIV energy hatch on everything now, because it's not going to matter if we can't produce the resources quickly enough. So right now we're just focusing on getting that sorted. Also, still not sure what I'm going to do about these ones, but no, well, we did fix them technically, but only because we now have a creative energy cell. I don't really know what the issue was. Everything seemed to like mostly be running fine. I think it was just running out of power though. We were just trying to put too much through it in one go. The final products will be getting sent back to the main network. So the dust outputs and everything that is essentially a final product will get sent back to the main ME network. Although I've still not figured out exactly how I'm going to do that yet. Yeah, I've heard the same thing as well, Bubble, so I don't know. I'm not sure. It's fixed now, though. What are we actually making at the moment? Oh, have you clogged up again? You should not have fricking clogged up. But of course you have. Or have you? Oh, no, you haven't. You're just making a universal collapse device. What have you got in there? Oh, stuff ready for the, yeah, that won't go anywhere until that's finished crafting. Okay, that's fine. Marimana, I quite literally never watch anybody else's playthroughs. I don't, generally, 99.9% of the time, I don't need it. Because I can figure things out myself. And that's one of the things I pride myself on, is being able to figure out how I'm going to do things myself without copying or following anybody else's playthroughs. It's one of the things I've always prided myself on. So, yeah, I tend not to watch anybody else's playthroughs. Although I can second Threefold as a good source of information for anybody who is looking for someone to follow. Anyway, right. But yeah, like I say, like 99.9% of the time, I don't actually need to follow anyone else's playthroughs, because I can generally figure stuff out myself. Right, I don't want to start messing around with anything here until I can get the energy hatches. Which we are now short on blaze powder and, well, basically we're short on infinity ingots right now. So, but this is what we're in the process of doing. But no matter what we do, like, it's not going to happen instantly. No matter what we do, it's going to take a little while before we can actually get things running as we want them. That's just kind of the nature of how it's going to work. But figuring out exactly how we want to do this is... I know roughly how I want to do it. It's just figuring out the logistics of it. Alright, no worries, Marimana. We'll probably be here for a little while yet. But yeah, I'm also going to have to go through and process all of these ores as well. The thing that's going to make this difficult is that we've got stuff running through here constantly at the moment as well that we need. So I think what we might need to do is wait till all of our passive crafts that have been held up due to lack of resources after making the creative energy. I think what we're going to need to do is wait till all of those have stopped, and then we can do that. Because basically, I don't want to risk kind of like screwing up anything else because of tearing apart my ore processing system. We can do some planning though. The general gist though is going to be this. Obviously, this will take in raw ores, so any raw ores will come out here. But the idea is like any raw ores or crushed ores, or well, any ore process stuff at the moment will go and get stored in here. Either when it's coming from the miner, which actually is one thing I'm going to need to move the miner at some point soon, although I'm probably going to make a better one before I do that. But yeah, everything will come into there. And then we'll do a similar thing to this where we'll just have an interface that's with a storage bus on it that just kind of exposes either the purified ore, like the purified ores, the purified, what are they all? The purified, crushed, refined ores. They will all get exposed to there. And then we'll use stocking buses on here, so whenever any of those items come into here, they'll just automatically come in and get processed. It's just figuring out how I want to do the final outputs. The only thing, the easiest way to do it is, I mean, so far everything, like all our final outputs have been coming into here and then being taken out of the barrel, and we've made sure that we always have storage for them so they're not clogging up our main system. We've basically got a huge tag list here of what we have storage buses for, or storage cells for. But if we're not going to be able to do that once we're finished, so we need to make sure that we have storage for everything before we start processing. After this, we have to make sure we have the storage available, because basically what we're going to have to do. Oh God, it's actually going to make it slightly more awkward by the fact that some of the outputs from different stages will go straight back to the main storage, and some won't. Well, no, that's actually relatively easy to fix. Yeah, that's actually relatively easy to fix, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. I just need this to hurry up now. How are you doing, Pat? But yeah, we've now got a whole bunch of stuff kind of crafting, which we can't do much about right now. And I need this to stop sending items out. What are you actually processing at the moment? Oh, wait, vanadium magnetite? Why are you processing vanadium magnet? Oh, no, you're producing radon salt. Ah, okay. But yeah, I need to basically redo this whole thing, which is going to be fun, whilst in the middle of doing everything else. Oh, how are we doing for Wither Bones? 100. Oh, wait, we do not have a bulk storage cell for Wither Bones yet, do we? So that is currently just voiding those. So let's fix that first of all. If we take that out there. Am I? I'm not too bad. Just wrestling with getting resources back under control. Right, you should just keep producing those for a little bit. I'll wait till we've got like a couple of 100,000 of those, and then we'll switch back to producing more of the dragon scales and then some of those. Like I say, this is one of the things we're going to need to do soon is make more of these. I think what I might end up doing is having basically stacking one more set on top of here and then possibly doing 2 more sets on the other side. And that will help to hopefully get us everything we need. We will need to boost our production of... shit, what are they called? Pulsating prediction matrices. So that is one thing we'll need to do. Right, what are we still waiting on here? Corrupted universe data. More infinity ingots. How are we doing for... Oh, we've still got 1.9 million pearls. That's not too bad. Iron is going down rapidly. But, yeah. We're not out of the woods yet with this. Right. What else can we do while we're waiting here? I really want to get started on sorting out the ore processing. It's going to be such a pain to do, though. And also, things like this where we're like, there's probably going to be a few more of these we need to set up. These are basically like when we need to store certain amounts of things. Like we've got for europium, like whenever we've got less than 25,000 europium, it'll keep sending out the micromine emissions for dollarcites. Or at least it should do. Ooh, okay, that means we're out of something else as well. Wait, why are you... Ah. Okay. Did I turn off the dollarcites? Did I remove that from the... No. So why is that not... I'm a little confused. I'm very confused. So it's got an amount to stock, 1,024. It's idling for some reason. It's not saying it's missing materials. It's idling for some reason. And I'm not sure why, because apparently we have the ability to send out the mission. So I don't know why that's idling. Ah, strange. Okay, well, I'll have to fix that later. There's so many, now that we're at this point, there's so many things to fix. So progress is going to be slow for a while. Well, I say a while. It can't be slow for more than a couple of days because we need to get this finished by Friday, but otherwise, it's kind of frustrating. I need this stuff to hurry up and finish so I can get started on this. Right, we're getting the dollar sign in now, though, at least. Which should get us more europium. Although that's going through redstone at the moment. Or it was. Okay. So many things that we need UIV energy hatches for. Right, so what is taking the time at the moment? Like, what are the things that we're going to need to do? We need to speed up the microminers. That's for certain. Why is this song so much louder than everything else? Yeah, we need to speed up the microminers, so UIV energy hatches need to go in those. That will only take that down to, what? 19 seconds? So it'll still take 19 seconds to do that, even with a 4 amp UIV energy hatch. Can we actually make the max energy hatches? Obviously we can't at the moment because we haven't got monium, but... Oh, we can. What about UXV energy hatches? We can't make UXV. We can't make the 16 amps because we need monium. No, I didn't turn my mic down. The music just got louder. Yeah, we can't do the... We did try and make the 16 amp ones, but we need monium. Which we don't have at the moment, and it's kind of not a huge priority right now. So we need monium wire for the transformers. Yeah, Pretzel doesn't believe in normalizing the volume of the tracks that it has. So... Yeah, 16 amp one would be nice, but we need monium first. But before we start doing monium, I want to make sure we have everything we need squared away, because that's we kind of, because we pushed forwards a little faster than we probably should have done the end game stuff to get to the creative power. We don't necessarily have things, the resources that we need at the moment, so we're just fixing that now. Yeah, there are definitely some tracks that are way too loud. Hang on, I'm going to skip that one. But yeah, it was a good track, but it's like some of them are just like way too loud. And then there's this one that currently is way too quiet. Right, we should be like almost done with most things. I think at the minute we've got it set to, I think, keep 64 infinity ingots in stock. Yeah, so we'll obviously up that when we're able to, but for right now, neutronium is a problem. We don't have much neutronium, so we're going to need to send out some of the alien scrap missions as well. Oh, this is going to take a while. But we might... I'm going to turn off all the microminers for now as well. That's turned off anyway. I'm going to turn off all the microminers for now. And then we'll just double check on all of these later. That way we know we're not going to get... Well, we shouldn't be getting anything in that's unexpected. Okay. I'm thinking I might want to put in a few more extended drives as well, just to be on the safe side. with this, but shouldn't be anything coming through there. Shouldn't be anything coming through here. The only thing that might cause problems might be activated netherite, but I think we're fine. Okay. Is else still going as well? Yes. Right, so what we need to do, from like external sources, the only things we're going to get from external sources will be either raw ores from the microminer missions or crushed ores from the auto miner. So we're going to have to... I'm going to keep this as it is, actually. This is basically the system we're going to be using for the whole thing. Interface connected to the subnetwork. But then what we're going to have to do is use ME outputs connected to the subnetwork rather than outputting to barrels. And then... So everything will come into the subnetwork. And then we need storage buses. Wait, do we need storage buses? No, we have stocking buses, stocking hatches on the inputs. And then those will be connected to subnetworks, which will have all of the items that need to go into them, basically. And then any ones that need to be routed elsewhere outside of the usual kind of macerator or washer thermal centrifuge macerator line, we'll just have to have storage buses on those. That's not going to work, though, is it? That might be a problem. Because for some things, like, for example, like we need the purified galena and purified sphalerite to go back into the main ME system so that it can be processed into indium. So, like, that needs to go separately. So that needs to go from here back to the main system. I guess we could, rather than using... That's not going to work either, is it? Fucking hell. Right. It's the, like, if everything was just going through the same line, it would be fine. But we need to make sure stuff goes elsewhere. So trying to use stocking buses elsewhere. Unless, like I say, with the stocking buses, if we just use the stocking buses to, rather than using storage buses on the sub networks, we do it with storage buses like this, and then we just directly specify exactly what's going in there. Because I don't know if there'd be a way to prioritize. I don't. Oh, we can set priorities on interfaces, but I don't think that would make a difference. So let's say we had a storage bus on here. Like, say this was going to here. We had a storage bus connected to an interface on here for all crush doors. But we wanted some of the crush doors to go elsewhere. Or, sorry, it would be an interface, wouldn't it? It wouldn't even be a storage bus, so we couldn't do it the way I was thinking. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it this way and have interfaces and then just specifically say what's going into where. I think that's the only real way I can do this in a way that I'll be happy with. So I think that's the way we're going to have to do it. So we are going to need a bunch of sub networks. So And then the other thing is we're going to have to clear all of this up. He's trying to sort all the cabling out in here while still leaving what's currently in here. Is another thing I'm going to get really annoyed with. We do know that we're going to need a bunch of stocking buses, though. Hey, Sheepy. How you doing? And Reese as well. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I am doing okay currently. How are you doing, Sheepy, more importantly? Okay, so... there it is. Right. So that's going to be for the... Oh, this is so awkward. If I could just tear the whole thing down, it will make this a lot easier. And this is making things awkward as well. Where is this even going? Oh, that's just literally just for the crushed capacitors. Okay. So if we bring this down here... Wait a minute. I thought it had turned off my texture pack again. Right, so that we'll put, if we put an interface on there, we can, if we might well need to have more than one. Wait, no, we do need a storage. It is a storage bus we use. Never mind, we can do this the way I was thinking of doing it. Right, so let's actually do this. Let's do things in order rather than kind of going out of order with things. So we've already got this set up over here, although I will probably have to sort that out a little better in a moment. Okay. You feeling much better now this nasty virus is finally gone? That's good. That's good to hear. Hey, Dagon. How you doing? Right, so we've already got a stocking input bus there, but that's not connected to the right thing. Then we've got the output bus there. Now, we need these outputs to be an ME output bus. Becky, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. So... everything from here will go... Okay, let's start over here. Okay, right. We'll get rid of... that. I'll do that as an ME. So the raw ores is we'll take raw ores as the starting point. That will come, everything will come into here. We'll get crushed. Output into the main output bus. You know what? I'm just going to tear down this entire laser network. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just redo the whole thing. I'm going to regret this, I have no doubt, but... especially, the bits over there I'm not going to do tear down yet, because we need to make sure I remember what needs to actually go in them. Oh my god. I love laser IO, but when you've got this many like random cards in your inventory, it's so annoying. All right, let's just get rid of everything we don't need right now. Like that. And those can go for a second as well. Okay. So let's go through this from kind of the start. Where's that even going? I think what I'm actually gonna do is reroute this as well. So that way we can get all of the power into... Wait, what's that connected to? That, okay. So that's fine. That can... Then we can get rid of... We should then be able to get rid of... Okay, not all of that, because that's still connected to there. Right. I think if we connect that to there instead... I'm trying to clear up this central bit for the sub network. So things come into here. And we don't need this main thing all the way down here. We bring this across here. We don't want that. Oh, this is horrible. This is such a pain to do. Right, I want to copy that. So we're going to have to move this. Actually, no, I think that'll be fine where it is, actually. And that'll be fine where it is. Except we do sort of also need to get rid of all of this. Oh, this is so horrible. Fuck. I'm breaking everything that I don't mean to break. Thankfully, I had that stored, but... And they gone with a 7-stream streak. Yeah, trying to properly sort out ore processing is a nightmare. And trying to redo it again once it's already been done is apparently even more annoying. I'm now in the process of just trying to clean everything up right now. Okay, I think that's okay. So then... I'm still not happy with this bit here. I think I need to redo this bit here a little bit, but... For right now, I think it's going to have to stay where it is, and then we'll fix it later. All right, you have now not got any power. So I'll have to do that. Right, so that will take the raw ores, crush them, and send them out to the main ME system. Have you checked out? Yeah, Vein's supposed to be really good, actually. I've seen a few people mention it. It's supposed to be really good. Right, okay, so that will store everything. All the crushed ores, and there will be additional dusts, and they'll get stored in there, but they are going to need to go elsewhere. And that's the bit I've not quite figured out how I'm going to sort out yet, is getting the final outputs, just the final outputs from here into the main ME system. That's the bit I haven't quite figured out yet. Anyway, right. Then we have a stocking bus there, which we are going to get rid of for now. We are going to need that, but that's going to need to go on a subnetwork. I think I'm actually going to move that into the center here as well. By the way, I'm probably going to miss a lot of chat at the moment, so I do apologize. But this is going to take a little bit of concentration. Right, so this is going to be another sub network. If we bring this down with a tag storage bus. Wait. This is the same thing that happened before. Like, we requested it, and we never actually got it back. It said it completed the crafts, but we're not actually getting it. This same thing happened before. And it's happening now. It took like 3 attempts before it would actually give us what we needed. What the fuck? Seriously? What the shit? Oh. Why did you end up in there? Exactly? Okay, this is going to be causing major problems, and I don't know why the fuck it's doing this. Because you should only be accepting those or these. And that means that anything else coming into our ME system has been going into here. Why? What the actual fuck? There is literally no reason this should have happened. There is literally no reason that should have happened. Right, there's a storage bus on here. That is set to only accept those items. There is a storage bus on here. That is set to only to whitelist forged raw materials and forged crushed ores. The only way that could happen, the only connection to the main... fuck's sake. I mean, that was clearly what was happening, but it's just where it was happening was the problem. You could always leave, dead man. Sorry, I'm just a bit stressed right now. That was uncalled for. I do apologize. It's just now that, like, everything is... Sorry, chap. No, you're all good. You're all good then, man. That was on me. That was completely uncalled for from me. I do apologize. I'm trying to fix this, and now I've got to try and figure out how the fuck I'm going to sort... Yes, I... Slightly more awkward than doing that because there is a shitload of things in here that shouldn't be in here now, and I have to go through and get all of them. So certain things like this will work with an export bus, but not everything. You know, at this point I am this close to just saying fuck it and just not bothering and just ending now. Not waiting until Friday. You know what's really weird, though? This wasn't connected to the main ME system. That was actually not connected anywhere to the main ME system. So that still shouldn't have happened. Well, no, the issue here was me. The issue here wasn't with the ME system. The issue here was just me. Although, maybe not on this occasion, because I don't know how... The only place this could have been... This wasn't connected to the ME system. Like, this... So, that shouldn't have happened. Because it wasn't connected anywhere. I'm almost positive this was not connected to the main ME system. So I do not understand how things were getting into there. Because the only way... This wasn't... If we do that... That's not connected to the main ME system. Those aren't going anywhere. The only place they could have got into there would have been through these storage buses. And these storage buses should only allow forged raw materials or forged crushed ores. Which I'm pretty sure none of those things I was using that have gone in here are actually any of those things. So it makes no sense for that to happen. Sorry, everybody. I swear I'm not usually this annoyed. Yeah, but it shouldn't. But again, like I say as well, this is the reason why I'm stopping streaming. And honestly, at this point, it can't come soon enough. I just don't like stopping things in the middle of them. Fuck, that's gonna break shit again, isn't it? And what this one, like, the thing that makes this worse as well, though, is that this is obviously all being done. It's not just being done in private on my own. At that point, it wouldn't actually bother me in the slightest. But it's because obviously there's people watching. It's being done entirely publicly, and it's fucking annoying. Right, so that needs to come out. That needs to come out. That needs to come out. Everything that's not a fucking crushed or raw ore at the moment needs to come out of there. I think those are all cleared. Like, so much stuff has come in here that's going to have screwed a whole bunch of other things up as well. But I still genuinely do not understand why all of this stuff ended up coming in here, because it was not connected to the main ME network, technically. And the only, like I say, the only way it would have happened, I can't even think of a way it would have happened. Wait, stuff's still coming in. Things are still coming in here. Like, obsidian dust was coming in there. What the shit? Like, none of this needs to be in here. Pretty sure all of that will be cleared. Like, this makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I do not understand how some of those things are coming into this sub-network at this point. Like, that storage bus only allows those. That storage bus only allows forged crushed ores and forged raw materials. Unless obsidian dust is considered a forged raw material. Which it's not. So if anyone can explain how those are getting in there, and still getting in there, please do. I can't see anywhere that these will be connected. I mean, there's got to be somewhere, but I don't see anywhere that is. I mean, at this point, this is not even online. Have you now stopped? No, you're all good. I think it might... No, it's still going. I genuinely do not know how anything is getting into this subnetwork right now. There's no connections anywhere around here. This makes absolutely no sense. And the fact that it just seems to be obsidian dust, though. As well. What happened? Somehow this network got exposed to my main network, and all of the items that came into my main network came into here instead. Which makes absolutely no sense, because that happened while this was technically offline. And the only connections to this were this storage bus, which will only allow these items, and this storage bus, which will only allow forged crushed ores and forged raw materials. And yet, for some reason, we're still getting obsidian dust coming in, which makes absolutely no sense. See, it's gone from 2602 to 2711. I don't understand. I'm going to have to just remove all of this and just redo the entire thing from scratch. I'm literally just going to have to redo the entire thing. This was not what I had in mind for today. If this... Well, this hasn't got any power now anyway, so we can't do anything. I wouldn't mind if it made sense. I'm okay with me causing problems and screwing it up. But when it makes no sense like this... It just frustrates me. So now I've got to try and get everything out of here, back into the... It's still going up! No, I love subnetworks. Subnetworks are incredibly useful. So that's obviously coming in from somewhere else. Where the... Like, this is not connected anywhere else. I don't get it. Like, there is nothing else connected to this network. Oh, wait a minute. No, that shouldn't make a difference either. That's only an input. Or an input into there, an output from the system. Same with that. It's got to be coming from somewhere. That Sony is a stock in input bus. Oh. That's where it's coming from. This, like, the annoying thing is, this whole system was working absolutely perfectly. Like, the whole system was working perfectly, but because we're having to speed the whole thing up in order to handle everything we needed to handle now, I've had to redo the whole thing, and then it's just like, in the process of redoing it, I knew this would happen. Like, I knew that I was going to run into issues like this. It's just so frustrating trying to get things to work. Right, I need to just make sure this entire thing is turned off. And what's worse is trying to do this while, like, other things need to be processed and working, and now it's just a fucking train wreck. So those need to be outputs. Those do. Those do. Right, let's just do this by name. Oh my god, we've got bloody microminers coming in here as well. I literally this still doesn't explain how all of this stuff got in here in the first place, by the way. Just to be clear. It does not explain how all of this got in here in the first place. Are you actually exporting? You are. I have no doubt there's going to be a lot of people in chat thinking, oh yeah, it's because you did this or because you did this. I'm sure you're all right. I just wish export buses were a little bit faster to actually export. Unfortunately, they have to kind of speed up as they go. Oh, this is so frustrating. This was not what I wanted to be doing today. I was looking forward to, now that we had creative power, I was looking forward to making some progress, getting some, working towards endgame, the actual kind of final items. And now here we are, dealing with this bullshit. I'm going to assume that those were all exported. Jesus Christ. That's just so much crap in here now. Like, all of this just needs to be... You know, most of this is probably actually going to be easier just to manually extract it. Set loads, maybe. Ah, the joys. Okay, right. So that's... Those need to go. Those need to go. So much silicon dust. Oh, why am I putting those back in there? Oh, wait, no, because that's our main ME system. That's fine. Silicon dioxide, gold catalyst, samarium, saltpeter. I guess I could set this to export and blacklist the crushed ores, but given that I think that is what's caused the problem in the first place, is the fact that that filter didn't work properly. I'm a little hesitant to do that. Anything that's got large amounts of stuff in there. I will output via the exporter. Anything which with small amounts is probably just going to be easier to output like this. Yeah, no, like, things like this don't really put me off applied energistics, because 99% of the time, like, there's no problems. Like, 99% of the time, there's no issues at all. And even when you do have issues like this, I'd still much rather have applied energistics than anything else. There is still no better alternative. Why are you not exporting the mercury dust? Did I put you in there? That's why you weren't exporting the mercury dust, because I didn't actually set you to export the mercury dust. That would explain it. I wonder how much other crap we've managed to break during this. And by we, I mean me. That's one thing I haven't looked at, actually. I'm sure there was crystal matrix nuggets I was getting at some point from somewhere. And I can't remember where. I think it was from the Elts line. Oh my god, like 12,000 carbon dust in there? What the fuck? That's okay. Like, once we get this sorted, we should be fine. And it was definitely worth sorting this out as well. I'm not regretting my decision to do this in any way. I can stay in there for now. We're almost done. With the cleanup, at least. We've still got to do the rest of this. Right. All of that can come out. Hey, this may even be a blessing in disguise. This meant that I am now having to, rather than trying to cobble together something that works alongside the old system, I'm at least now completely redoing it, which means we can hopefully do it better. That's the plan, at least. So much crap in here. Right, have we got rid of everything that needs to be out? No, some raw rubber pulp there. I think everything else is fine. That stays in there because that's part of the alien scrap processing stuff. Okay, right. Now that I've fixed my mistake, let's try not to make any more. And let's go through this from the start again. Right, so all raw ores and crushed ores should come into here. Let's make sure that actually happens. So if I do put that into there, that should end up... Okay, never mind. Oh, no, I completely got rid of it, didn't I? Yeah, that's right. That's fine. Okay, right, so we do need to do that again. We do need to connect that up again. Right. Get rid of that for a second. I'll have the interface there. We need a tag storage bus on there, and we need a regular storage bus on there. The regular storage bus is actually a little bit annoying now because... Although, actually, we might not need to have this. Well, we probably will. And if I just put the alien scrap in there for now. And then for this, we needed... Oh, shit, was it? Forge... I think it was forge raw materials. Yeah, forge raw underscore materials. Or forge... What's the crushed ones? Forge crushed ores. Right, so that will go there, and then we need this on a high priority. Right, so now if I take that out of there and put it into there, hopefully it should be in here. It's not. Lovely. Okay. So where did that go then? And why is it not going into there? Because even if that is offline, that storage bus should still work. I should still put it into there, but it's not. So why not? Anyone got an explanation for that one? Anything I've missed? Greg. I mean, seems reasonable. Let's just see if we can do it without the or bit on there. What's wrong? Basically, we're having to redo our ore processing because it's gone weird, and I screwed some things up, and I'm trying to reorganize it in such a way that it will be fast enough. Yeah, it's not going there, is it? That it will be fast enough to handle everything at the speeds we're going to be processing everything at. So we need to redo the whole thing to not use laser I/O. And then in the process, somehow it went really weird. To put it mildly. I'm going to get rid of that one for now. If we do that, so it is online. Well, actually, it's still offline. Well, it will still be offline. You know what? I'm not even going to send power to this network via there as well. I'm actually just going to put one of these on here, and then that will actually power it. But yeah, why is this right? That is a whitelist filter. Storage bus, forge raw materials. If we do forge raw materials star, that is does have the tag of forge underscore raw materials. I really don't like tagging storage buses. Oh, it is going in there. Never mind. It is going into there. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I don't know why it wasn't going into the interface. Wait, will interfaces not accept items if they're offline from a storage bus? Is that a thing? It certainly seems that way, but I did not know that was a thing. Because if we do that, well, the thing is, it doesn't need to move it. We're just like, we can still put items in there. Like, items will still go in there. They just won't be able to be moved out of it. But it doesn't put them in there. Now I'm curious. Yeah, you can hopper items in. And you can pipe items in, but apparently storage buses will not see that as a valid. It seems like it's... Well, how does it make sense? Is this, at this point, this is technically just another inventory, right? But then surely that's, if that's the case, like, you wouldn't be able to put anything in there. It would just do nothing. Like, you couldn't pipe items in, you wouldn't be able to do anything like that. Because if that wasn't the case, then, like, something like... That, I guess that would make sense, Triz, but then surely that would also affect whether items could be piped in or not. I would have guessed. Well, storage buses do pipe items into an inventory, though. If I were to... Let me try... I'm assuming if I were to put a crate there, or a barrel, or something along those lines, it would push it into there. So... It's got to be something to do with the interaction between the storage bus and the interface, specifically. Hey, Panda. I hope you're doing okay, or as well as you can be. Okay, then let's try something else then. See, now we've just gone to attempting to science things instead. So if that's the case, we shouldn't be able to export to here via this. Either, right? Hang on, let me just disconnect that for now. So nothing gets taken out of there.
Oh, I see.
But an exporter will still
Running
export to
away,
it.
you yellow bastard!
Yeah, I got nothing either. Like, it's working though. It's not working exactly as intended, but it is working. So like, we can take. I'm assuming that I should be able to take the. Hang on, let me find something. I've got a little bit less crushed. Is there anything? So this should go back up to 830 crushed limonite. If this is working properly. Yeah. Okay. So the things that are supposed to be outputting to here are being outputs. Composters are different, I think. But I would assume probably not. But that's a good question, though. I'm actually curious. Have I got any kind of planks or anything here? Wait, where's all my rubber wood gone? Wait, do I no longer have any rubber wood? The fuck? Oh god, is this getting stored somewhere else again? What the fuck? Where's... Oh, there. No, never mind. I'm just blind. It's fine. Whoops. Let me just make a composter query. I'm now curious about this. Bus is probably optimized to insert into the other network instead of the inventory, and it doesn't have a condition for the regular insert if it's offline. But the thing is, though, my guess is because this isn't actually part of this network at all. It's literally just seeing this as an inventory. It can't be seeing it as anything else because it's not connected to this network. If we disconnect that from here, that's offline. Like, it's not part of this network at all. So surely all it will see it as is an inventory, unless, like we say, it's specifically programmed to react differently to an interface when it's not online. Because the priority on this is still higher than anything else in the ME system. So the only thing I can think of, like I say, is if it's specifically designed to not insert into an interface specifically when it's not online. Wait, hold on. This needs to be off the main network, doesn't it? Right, so if we do a storage bus on here. And we use, say, sugarcane. I'll set this to higher priority than anything else. And then we put sugarcane back into the ME system. Nope. It does not go in there. It shouldn't be a lag thing. There shouldn't be any lag. I mean, at the minute, we are currently running at 19.883 milliseconds per tick, which is well within the 20 TPS range. So there shouldn't be any lag. Doesn't mean there's not, admittedly, but there shouldn't be any. Anyway, right. Let's let's stop getting sidetracked here. We're supposed to be figuring out how exactly we're going to sort out the ore processing. Does the interface have a whitelist mode? The interface does not, I don't believe. There's not a whitelist mode. You can use fuzzy cards, but there's not an actual whitelist on it. Only the exporter has a whitelist or blacklist. But the thing is, though, when it's online, it works perfectly. It goes into where it's supposed to, but when it's not online, it doesn't. Well, no, if that was the case, Triz, it wouldn't work at all. Like when we're putting, if we take the Wolfenite, if we now put that back into, this is our main ME system. If we then put that back into there, it goes back into here. But if we disconnect that from the network, this is really not helping my I need to get done by Friday, by the way, guys. If we do that, it stays in the main network. Anyway, right. So, let's try and figure this out. So basically what's going to happen is raw ores come in, they get processed in here, and then output into the first sub network. Which everything will come back into here. That will include all of the dusts and everything else. So let's just take iron, raw iron ore as how we're going to do this. So basically, the raw iron will go into the macerator, give us the crushed iron and the nickel dust. Those will both go back into the sub network. The annoying thing is we need to take the nickel dust out of the sub network back into the main network. That's the bit we're going to need to figure out later. But then the crushed ores will need to go through over here to the ore washer. So what we need to do is have another interface. This is what caused all this issue in the first place. Was when I was trying to get my tag export buses and it wasn't actually giving them to me, or tag storage buses rather. So yeah, we'll have that's there. I want to make sure I turn this off for a second because I want to check something out. So that will go into there. And this, I'm a little unsure about this at the moment because I don't want to process everything straight away. No, we don't have to deal with geodes, thankfully. Well, there are some crystals we need to deal with as well, but not too many. But I think I'm actually, rather than do, like, eventually we do want to do this as a tag export bus. But we only want to do that when we know we have storage for everything that's going to come out of this, basically. Because I don't want to start processing, because obviously we've got a lot of ores, and I want to go through all of these ores and process all of it and store all of it. But we need to make sure we actually have storage cells for everything before we start processing it. Otherwise, it's going to clog up our main ME network and cause major problems, which obviously we don't want. Although I guess it's only going to put it into... So it's actually only going to output them to here, so it's not actually going to cause any major issues straight away. But the problem is going to be getting the final outputs from here into the main network, but only the ones that have storage space available for them. And that's the difficult bit, is figuring out how exactly we're going to do that. But, so the way we could do this is we do forge crushed ores. And we set that just to a priority of like 100. Wait a minute. Have I got that the wrong way round, though, is the next question. No, I don't think so. And then if we just set that to... Oh, yeah, that's going to be offline as well, isn't it? Crap. I'm almost tempted to just get the Creative ME things for every single one of these. They're free, basically, so we may as well do, but we'll just do that. Now, what I'm curious about is... Yeah, so now that will stock this with the first, was it 16 things that match that tag. Which is why I want to use the stocking bus and a sub network. Basically, as soon as I could, Hickenal. The only thing is you can't start making patterns. You can only start making patterns at HV, so obviously you have to wait until you've got your first HV circuits to be able to do it. But pretty much as soon as I was able to, I did that. But yeah, I think for the time being, I actually don't want to do this with a tag storage bus. I want to do this so with just a regular storage bus. And then we can just specify exactly what we want this to store or to output. It might actually be an idea to do that anyway. So say we wanted to just process the ruby ore and like the salt ore. We just have to add those into there, and then those will be visible in there. So I think it's going to be a little awkward, but like once we have all of the things, the various outputs, like storage for all the various outputs, it'll make life a lot easier, and we can just use the tag export buses. But there are a lot of things that we're going to get out of this. So I think for now, it might actually be an idea. If we just have that there, because I'd like to make it so we can easily edit what we are, or change what we are exporting to here. So I think I might move this up. The only thing is, we might, if we need to do more than one... Whoops. If we need to do more than one thing here. Oh my god, I keep breaking all the wrong thing. I'm breaking everything today, literally, it seems. Right, so if we do that, and then we bring that over to there. We put storage bus. And then, how am I going to get this over here? Let's get that power. And then that way, if we want to add new things to output from here, we can relatively easily do that. Except we'd want that to be the other way. So if we wanted to add anything to it, we can just come down there and add to the list of outputs from there. Okay, that will take care of... That will be where the purified ores are going to. Let's get rid of that for now. Just get rid of everything for now. So that'll be where the purified ores are going to. We do need... we need an ME output bus from here as well. So if we just get rid of that and replace that with the ME output. Oh, yeah, the Universal Crystallizer was horrible. But well worth making. It's definitely worth making. Right, so that will go out to there. Just get confusing with so many bloody sub-networks, I have to admit. So that will go out to there. That will be the output. The crystals will come into there. We've also got an input bus there that if we decide we want to manually put some stuff in there, we can do. And that will take the crystals and turn them into purified ores. Purified ores will then need to come over. We're going to end up getting rid of that, aren't we? And that. And those. We'll keep the input bus there, and we'll replace this with a stocking bus. The stocking bus will go there. And we'll do the same kind of deal as we had over there. We'll take that and go to there, I guess. Well, this is going to be a little awkward because it's going to be right on a chunk border, but should be fine. Then again, we need a storage bus. Interface goes on there. That connects back to the main network. Give that thing some power. Okay, we do need to make sure we've got something in each of these, though, it seems. If we don't, it will just stop with anything. So if we just put cobblestone in them until we've got something to put in there. That should stop it from doing that. Perfect. Okay. So one of the things I was thinking about, you can pretty much get the cheapest LV and MV circuits at HV with the circuit assembler and stuff. Yeah, basically, you're playing... Are you playing Moni or are you playing Star Technology, Hickenall? I can't remember. I want to say you were playing Star Technology, but I can't remember. This was Star Tech, yeah. I spent ages last night figuring out... Well, actually, I spent ages last night making 40 lapidary dynamos and MV upgrades for everything. That's taken a while. It is going to be worth it in the long run, though. I'm actually doing the thing in Star Technology that I generally dislike doing. What are you doing in here? Ooh, I know what you're... Oh, right, I have no idea what you're doing in here. But we have refined goethite in there. Where did I even get goethite from? The fuck? 10k is going your to HFA is going to H. Well, my plan was I figured I was gonna basically go overboard with power throughout the whole thing. So my plan is basically lapidary dynamos, 4 MV sieves, which will get me, oh god, how much was it? About 96,000. That's something like 96,000 FE, and it's easily scalable. You did play expert mode for money, but you went with the Greg Tech Power Gen. Do they even have FE generation in expert mode? Or are you kind of forced to do... But the thing is, though, that will see me through pretty much until EV, IV kind of time. So it will see me through, and that's without upgrading it from that. So I figure I'm gonna go overboard with everything with this. They don't have you have to convert them. Are they what RF machines are they? Oh, I suppose you've got things like the physogenic insulators early on and the simulation chambers. Well, once I can get to high octane gasoline, I'll probably switch over to GT base power, Hickenor. H&N stuff. How useful is hostile neural networks in Xbox? I know they got rid of... Did they get rid of... I feel like they got rid of a lot of the ore and the kind of a lot of the resource generation stuff that we have in normal mode. I'll be honest, I did really want to do hard mode with Moni, but at the same time, I really didn't want to deal with, I'm against the idea of having to use a batch file to change pack modes. I did not mean to break that. Actually, I did, because we don't need that now. Oh, no, we do still need that. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm talking crap. Got rid of the basic materials to force you into mine emissions. Yeah, I figured that would be the way they did it. Okay. So... that's going to need to be replaced with an ME output bus. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that they used... I think I'm going to move this over as well. If it wasn't for the fact that they used a batch file for converting it, I would have probably have gone with Expert. I got committed all the way with the diesel line and went with Dragon Boosted Diesel. Yeah, Gene Gasoline is fantastic. The fuel value of Gene Gasoline is just ridiculous. And it's absolutely worth using. That's what once I was able to make that, that's what I was using through normal. Yeah. Have I got in the right place? I think so. Oh, I haven't sorted the ME output on here yet, have I? Because I was busy dealing with those. Naphtha's also pretty good. Naphtha's really not all that good. I don't think. Hold on, let me check the fuel value of naphtha. I will say though, naphtha is... oh damn, I actually didn't mean to... I didn't mean to clear those tag buses. Whoops-a-daisy. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter now anyway. Yeah, naphtha... naphtha has a fuel value of, well, 320 EU per millibucket. Naphtha's easy to obtain, that is true, but the problem is you need a considerably larger amount of it. If you look at that, that's 320 EU per millibucket compared to Gene Gasoline, which is 81,920. There's a slight difference there. Gene gasoline is definitely a lot better. It's a lot harder setup, but it is considerably better. Right, so if we do that, I'll put cobblestone in here for now. Oh no, that's fine. The tags that I needed were actually still in there. That's fine. Okay. So that will take care of all the final things, and then just the final outputs will go into here. Now, what I need to do is find a way of exporting from. I guess we can. Whenever we add a new item to our set of filters for this, I'm gonna have to move this actually to. Oh no, I don't need to move it. It's fine. We can leave it there. Whenever we set a add another item to the filters, we need to make sure that we have storage available for that item. I'm actually gonna get rid of all of this for those for now. Yeah, we should, like, before we add, like, when we add anything else, we just need to make sure that we have what we need, storage-wise. I mean, that's fair, Naked, but the problem then is, like, you are... It's, I don't know, just honestly, the fuel value, you're basically wasting efficiency, though. Like, yes, it's easier, but it's considerably less efficient. And kind of at least for me, the whole point of GregTech based packs is to find the efficiency of it. Plus, you need Gene gasoline later on anyway, so you may as well make that regardless. Oh yeah, they're both 32,000 EU per tick, but you are going to be using considerably more naphtha than you are Gene gasoline. That's my point. Naphtha, you are going to be using, what, 320 EU per tick for naphtha. Oh, 320 EU per millibucket for Gene gasoline. You are going to be using, what, 81,920 divided by 320. 256 times more naphtha than you will Gene gasoline. You would get 256 times the power out of Gene gasoline than you do naphtha. Just because something's easy to get doesn't mean that it's better. Like 99% of the time, the more complex the fuel source is, the better it is. Can I just... How do I even make frame trapdoors? Hold on. I need frame trapdoors. So much maths, and that's what I love about it, though. I enjoy the maths of it. Where am I going? Down here. Right, so we need to replace this. Yeah, I guess we replace... Actually, I think we'll replace that one with the output bus. It's what I spent a lot of last night doing. Why would you why even use naphtha in the first place? Why not use high octane gasoline? So again, high octane gasoline, which is the kind of the precursor to gene gasoline, you need it to make the gene gasoline. That has 3,200. That's 10 times as much power from high octane gasoline than from naphtha. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. Just it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's considerably less efficient. And also, as far as I'm concerned, a lot more fun to set up gene gasoline. Anyway, right, that should hopefully take care of main line of things. Trust me, there is a considerable net positive to it. Okay, there is a huge net positive to it. So high octane gasoline, 96,000. Well, let's just say if we just take this recipe particularly specifically, there's a few other bits that you need to make, but most of this stuff is like octane and toluene you'll be getting directly from oil processing anyway. Gasoline, 11 buckets for 4,800 EU. But if we just take this recipe, for example, 96,000 EU for that, for 32,000 buckets of high-octane gasoline. 32,000 buckets... Sorry, 32,000 millibuckets, rather, of high-octane gasoline. 32 buckets. 32,000 millibuckets times 3,200. That's 102,400,000 EU you're getting from that one recipe. It takes 96,000 for that. The gasoline itself... it's a little under 2 of those, so around about 9,000 EU. The raw gasoline, you only need half of that, so what, 48,000? You'll probably make a net positive in the tune of around about 100 odd million EU. Like there is a, like I say, there is an extreme net positive energy-wise to it. But at the end of the day, as I will always say, there is no right or wrong way to play. And there's no right or wrong way of doing things. So long as it works, that is literally all that matters. And if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. Okay. Right, let's just, well, actually, what we need to do first of all is make more UIV energy hatches. Can we make 4 of these now? We can make 4 more of those. Although the inert never compound is still a pain in my ass. Right, we'll make another 4 of these. And we'll make 4 of the 1K 1K storage cells. Now, the one thing we still need to do is be able to export the final products back into the main ME system. Yeah, the rotors are a little bit annoying. I think I've only ever used the large turbines with plasma turbines. That was when I was playing through Monifactory. I think I only ever used those like towards the end game of it, and yeah, changing out the rotors was annoying. I almost considered trying out plasma again in this playthrough, but opted not to in the end. Right, while this is... Let's actually try this out while this is still... not quite finished. So if we just put 8 of these into here... If I turn this on, that shouldn't start doing anything. So if I just put 8 of those into there for now... That should give us... Oh, we already had 33,000 crushed sulfur anyway. But that has given us the sulfur dust back in there. And then... Are we going to think... We've got a small amount of the crushed. About 24 crushed chromite. You know what? I think... I don't know how I want to sort this out. Because I don't want to go through... I don't want to be going through and manually adding everything into here. Although I guess I can do. Once we've gone through... No, I think we should be... How many like different types of crushed ore have we got? Too many. I guess... Trying to think how I want to actually go about dealing with this. I wish you could set up... I wish you could set up storage cells with like a tag rather than a like just a specific item. So when you partition them, like have it with a tag, so we could tag, like have one of these filled with like 64K drives with all tagged for purified and some tagged for refined, and that would have been really nice to have. These are going to take a while. Oh, and actually it's going to cause problems as well, isn't it? Because we still haven't got the... Yeah. Only one of these has got a UIV energy hatch at the moment. I should probably fix that first, honestly. But I really want to... Now that we've started doing this ore processing, I kind of want to get it all done. Yeah, that would be incredibly nice. Although I'm not overly confident using regex, I have to be honest. So we take you out, and put you in there, and you in there. Okay. You can go into... I should... Oh, I'm probably going to have to upgrade the hatch on there as well, aren't I? Otherwise, we're not going to be making enough purified water. So, can I do one more? No. Oh, wow, I'm short on coal and neutronium. Beautiful. Right, so neutronium is another one of those things that really needs to get fixed ASAP. But what have I got energy hatch on here at the moment? I have got a UV hatch on there at the moment, so that may actually be enough, but I highly doubt it. Okay. Next thing we got to do is figure out how we're going to export back into the main ME system. If we put... Also, can I make... Let's just make 20 more 64K drives. Just so that we can make sure we have enough storage for everything for the time being. Because for right now, this is going to be a little bit annoying. Right, so that will give us a bunch of extra storage for various things if we need it. So let's just test this out from here. Let's just put... actually, let's finish off the rest of this first, right? We need to make sure that specific things come into specific places. So there are certain things that need to come elsewhere. So, for example, if we get rid of that and that, there was a few things that needed to come into here. So we need to make sure that those things come here instead of anywhere else. And actually, am I going to be able to do that with this system? Because basically what we need to do, there are certain things that need to come through, like there are certain items that are coming into here. So, for example, bauxite, aluminium, and tetrahedrite are all coming through here. Because tetrahedrite was giving us additional cadmium. I can't remember why we needed cadmium, but we needed that. Then aluminium was giving us more rutile, which again, that doesn't really matter too much now. And bauxite, I believe, was also giving us more... Oh no, bauxite was giving us gallium. So we wanted to make sure those things came to here first. So we'd need to blacklist certain items from other places once we start using tags. How is that going to work? And also, there are certain items we need to blacklist from going elsewhere. I guess we are just going to have to set this up manually and do it that way. I really don't want to do it like that, though. Mm-hmm. This is, I think, the downside to the way I do things is that I like to make sure I have every or as many different possible outcomes figured out in my head before I even start anything. Makes it take a little bit longer to get things done, but it generally works better when it does. But yeah, we want to, like, there's a few things we want to output to here, like, say, like the bauxite, tetrahedrite, stuff like that. I guess we can ignore that for now. Although we don't have... Oh, we've got 68,000 gallium, I guess. I think we need to worry about that for right now. It adds quite a lot of overhead, but, like, doesn't it? Like, generally, it works out better in the long run, because, like, if you plan everything out beforehand, like, you know what you need to do. Like, you know what's going to happen, and you can plan for as many outcomes as possible, and it takes more time when you do it, but you save time in the long run by not running into problems. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, you set it up, and you set it up so it will just work, and you can pretty much just leave it, which is how our ore processing has been this whole time until now. But now we're about to start running everything through at massively higher volumes. It's a little bit trickier, because Laser IO would not be able to keep up with the item transfer. So we're having to redo it again now. But yeah, the issue we're running into, though, is, A, what am I going to do with the actual final outputs of this? B, if I want to do this with subnetworks, I need to be able to blacklist certain items. And it's a little bit annoying to blacklist items using tag buses. Because you can blacklist, you can use, I think you can use the whitelist and the blacklist. So you could whitelist, say, all purified ores, and then just blacklist specific ones. But it's just a little bit annoying to do it. Well, the problem is you can't really, that works until you need different things to go to different places. So not all the purified ores need to go onto the thermal centrifuge. Some of them need to be sent straight back out to the main storage. Yeah, that's the thing I don't like doing. Like, I don't like doing that with tag buses because it's just finicky and you can't always see the entirety of it, of what you're actually typing. So if it goes anywhere past this, so say you do that, you then have to kind of scroll backwards and forwards to make sure what's there. It's really annoying to do it that way. And it's a lot easier to make mistakes. So I think what I'm gonna do is literally just manually do all of it. Just manually set it up so that we'll only output what's in this storage bus to here. I'll probably add another one underneath there if we need to. It's a little bit more work to actually do, but again, it's one of those things where once it's set up, it will be set up and work. Well, last time I copied and pasted something into the clipboard, into the thing, it didn't actually work properly. And I think that is how we managed to get so much extra crap into here that shouldn't have been in here. So I'm very, very hesitant to do that. But then I also need to figure out how we're going to store everything. I guess the other option is we don't send stuff back to the main ME system, and we just set up somewhere in here with a bunch of storage drives that will hold all of the final items, and then we just expose this network to the main ME system in its entirety. I mean, we can see it at the minute anyway, so I think that might be the way to go, you know. So we just make a bunch more of these drives, and then we'll just use, since we have access to creative storage cells now, like whenever we see anything in here that has a lot of items in it, we'll just basically transfer those items into a storage cell, into a bulk storage cell, and just do it that way. It'll save us having the whole hassle of trying to get things back into the main ME system. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So if we just make, say, 4 of these drives. The only thing is, it means we'll have to manually move the storage cells into the drives rather than the way we have been doing it. Wait, you've done the same thing that you did last time, haven't you? You've broken again, haven't you? And I don't know why. Yeah. Why do you keep breaking? Hold on, have I got that recipe wrong? I shouldn't have done. I've made enough of these bloody things. Yeah, 2 ME drives, 4 fluids plates, and 1 capacity card. So why... What else could they be making? Oh, it's... Wait, no. Oh. Shit. I replaced those with dual hatches and then switched them back again and forgot to make them distinct. Oops. So that's why I've got drive upgrades, I guess. Whoops-a-daisy. That explains that. That's fine, though. Right, now I've got to find somewhere nice that looks reasonable to put these ME drives. I don't want to just stack them on top of here, because I do want to make this place look nicer later. I don't really know what other choice I have. What other options do we have here? All right, no worries, Becky. Take care of yourself. Where else can I put these drives where they're not going to look completely awful? And we can easily connect them up to the network. The only other place I can think is just like across the top of here. I don't think these are going to get any taller. So I guess we can probably just... If we just leave a little bit of space there... I feel like I'm going to have to make that look a little nicer, but... And then we'll just put them there for now. Okay. So... let's test this out. Let's test it out with something that we haven't got a huge amount of. So, let's say calcite. So what's the process we're going to have to go through for this? So with the calcites, I'm going to have to move this to somewhere a little nicer. So we'll output the calcites there. Let me shut this off for a moment. So we'll output the calcite to there. Oh, wait, why are you offline? Oh, because you haven't got any power on there, have you? That would explain that. Oh, you're also not connected to anything. That would also be a bit of a problem. Okay, so that will take the care of the calcite. So we've put that through. We have got 1,798 calcite ore. So, but what I should have been doing there is basically looking at this, finding out what we're going to get out of this, and then making sure we got storage for it. So, or the final outputs at least. So we know we're going to get calcium dust from it, more calcium dust, and then sodalite dust. Those are all, oh, and calcite dust as well. Those are all the final outputs that we're going to have. So we just need to make sure we have storage for each of those. Right, so... calcium dust. Sodalite dust. And calcite dust. I'll put those in there, and then we'll just make sure these are on a higher priority. And the rest of these... Right. It's going to be awkward setting all this up, but it should work out in the long run. So what was it we were doing? Calcite, wasn't it? And then... But also output calcite to there. Turn that on. Yeah, that gives the purified calcite stored in there. And then the purified calcite go in there. That gives us refined calcite. And then refined calcite out to there. I'm just going to give this thing some power. I've really got to stop falling off there. I still got the refined calcite in there, so if we just set that to there, that'll take care of all of that. And the fact that there's no calcite in there is concerning. Oh, right, yeah, that's not actually hooked up to anything yet, is it? That also explains that. Okay. Yeah, that'll take care of those. Like, most of these we probably won't need to worry too much about. But it is going to take a little bit of time to go through everything and make sure all of the items and everything have storage spaces and everything like that. So if we do that, let's do it with something that might actually be useful. What have we got that's actually useful? Monazite? 13,000 naquita. Where did I even get that from? I don't even know. I guess we could do it with the copper. So, again, we look at crushed copper. Figure out what we're going to get out of this. So, we won't get the cobalt from there, but we should get some cobalt dust from there. And some gold dust, and some nickel dust, and the copper dust. And this should hopefully leave us... Again, it's kind of annoying having to do all this a second time, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Like, I might call it a day in a minute, though, and then just get the rest of this done off stream before tomorrow. Or as much as I can get done, at least. Right, nickel dust. Once we've got all the stuff that's in here, like, now processed, it'll just be the things that we get in from microminer missions and the like. So... should be fine. Alright, so we then put those into there. So I'll do it straight from the crushed for now. We've got the crushed copper, then purified goes into here. Yeah, this is definitely not the... I kind of wish I'd planned this out ahead of time, how I was going to do this. Actually, I think with the refined, I think we can pretty much just output all refined to there. I don't think we need to worry about this bit, because the refined is going to... there's not any other stages that we need to do anything with the refined stuff for. At least not that I'm aware of. So if we just do... change that to tag storage bus. Is it just refined ores? Yes. It's gone through the refined goethite that was in there. Which means that we will have some goethite to deal with as well, but we'll live with that. Yeah, we've got 512 goethite dust in there as well. But yeah, that's gone through that copper ridiculously quickly. And this is only with 256 times parallel hatches. So we process that. That should go through all of it again. I'll take the purified out from there and turn it into refined. Then the refined should get output to there directly. The only thing with this is that this is never going to go as quickly as these do. It's usually like kind of half the speed. So it does mean that we'll end up with certain bits kind of backed up in there. But this is what I wanted. I wanted to have something like this where I could... wait a minute, is this... is this the problem I thought was going to happen? Yes, it is. Okay. Can I make another UIV energy hatch? No, because I'm missing distilled water and neutronium still. Okay, I knew this was going to cause problems, but that's fine. Let's turn that off for a minute. Right. Okay, neutronium. Can I send out a... oh, shit, there's another problem we're going to run into now, isn't there? The alien scrap processing is going to be a little bit broken. So I'm going to have to rethink all of that as well. Okay. Because we're going to need to get neutronium. So the alien scrap processing was all done through here. And has now become... actually, no, it should be mostly okay, I think. Although I do think I need another storage bus on here. Put that in there for a second. So I know we need to make sure we output. Oh, I'm going to have to redo this whole thing, aren't I? So the ruined machine parts we need to make sure come back into here. The ruined hulls. Crushed sensors. Magnetic capacitors. I think, does holmium oxide need to go into here? I can't even remember how I need to set this up. Like, it was a pain to set up in the first place. It'll be even more of a pain now. Potentially, anyway. Although maybe not. It's just, I think it's just the things that we get out of the sifters. That are going to be a problem. So we need to deal with that. So we need to make sure the ruined machine parts come back into here and the hulls. The ruthenium, tritium, americium neutronates can stay in the main ME system because all the things from the sifter at the moment are going back into the main ME system. Because things are a little awkward right now. Then the ruined machine parts then go back through the sifter, so we need to make sure that and that come back into here as well. We do that and we set. Right, what else comes from these that needs to come back in here? Holmium dust and iron dust don't. Holmium compound. Where's the holmium compound go? That goes into the autoclave, so that stays in the main ME system. Look, honestly, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Since the main ME system is exposed to these. What's the old for, Kyle? Yeah, this is going to get awkward. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, when that I had to set that up in a very kind of janky way to begin with to make it fit in with the old ore processing system. I'm gonna have to make sure I can redo it now. How's the distilled water situation? Still an issue. Although part of the issue is actually the water input, because at the minute from before we were still using a water cover, and the water cover is not inputting the water quickly enough. To be fair, if you're playing an expert, like a lot of what I'm dealing with at the moment will be different for you, and more than likely more of a pain than it is for me. Right, let me see if I've got a larger parallel hatch. I do. I can take one of you. Let me just break that. So 66.5 buckets per second. I still don't think that's going to be enough to keep up with it, but... Nope. Definitely not enough to keep up with it. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's fun. Okay, well. That's fine. That's fixable, at least. Okay, well, at least we're making it a little bit quicker now. We just need a UIV energy hatch. But the problem with the UIV energy hatch is we need... A, we're out of coal for some reason. And B, we need neutronium. Which I'm mostly getting from the alien scrap processing. And since we can't process alien scrap at the moment, it's a little bit of a problem. I have literally 0 coal right now. That's not ideal. Yeah, it turned out quite nicely. I definitely wish I could have actually got the base finished. That would have been nice, but still looks pretty good, I think. The idea was there. Right, that should take care of the coal problem. It's taken a while, yeah. It's definitely taken a while. Well, I'm once I finish Monifactory, I'm taking a break from streaming for a while, and I've basically set myself a deadline of this Friday to finish the actual quest line. And I'm going to be finishing this Friday, whether I finish the pack or not. Just going to be annoying if I don't manage to do it. Right, let's leave that going for a little bit. Although not too long. And let's see what we can do with the alien scrap. Because things are probably going to end up in weird places with this. So that's going to be fun. Right, how's the coal doing? If we can get up to 1 million coal, I'll shut that off things. We don't want to end up burning through all of our prediction matrices. I need to speed that up again at some point soon as well. Getting more neutronium at the moment, though, is definitely... Oh, wow. Yeah, getting more neutronium is definitely a priority right now, I think. So... where are things going? Well, it's processed all of that. Right, so we've got the ruined machine parts. Those should have come back into here. But they didn't, because I never actually hooked this up. Well done, me. So if we take the ruined machine parts and the ruined hulls out of here, and then put them back in, that should put them into the sub-network. Yeah. And they are getting processed in there. Now, what about the ruined hull? Where does the ruined hull go at this point? That then goes into a centrifuge, so that should be going into here. These bits are still going to be a little bit slow because they're still on the old power. But that will be giving us a bunch of neutronium dusts. I've got a whole bunch of magnetic capacitor dust. Which way? Where was that going? Oh, come on. That goes into the centrifuge as well. So that should also be... Yeah, that should be going into there as well. And the holmium oxide glass dust is also going into there. I've really got to speed this up. It's only running 32 recipes in parallel at the minute as well. But... That is... We are starting to get some more neutronium in again now, which is good. What else are we going to have in here? I've got the ruined hull. Where have the ruined machine parts gone? Did I actually send those out to... Yeah, they should be there. So... Where have the outputs from this gone, then? Where did the ruined capacitors, the ruined sensors, and the ruined emitters go? Have they gone where they're supposed to go? Well, crushed capacitors should have gone out to there. What about the ruined ones, though? They... Oh, right. They would... No, they would have gone out straight out into here, wouldn't they? And they would have been processed in there. So that should have been done. And then those would have given us the crushed capacitors, which would have had to go into the electromagnetic separator, which should have been that, which should also have processed them. So maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it was. We still need the UIV upgrades for here. But that's going to need more neutronium. Can I send out another alien scrap mission? Yes. Okay, we'll send that out. Wait, what are you... Oh, you're not doing anything. You're just perpetually stuck with glowy blue shit in you. Right, how much storage space have I got for distilled water, anyway? Oh, only... Oh, Jesus Christ, no wonder that's... No wonder we're not getting much of it. I have got the tiniest... the tiniest little storage cell for it. Let's fix that. I think... Once I've got this done, I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go and see if I can find some food, because I'm actually getting really hungry. Universal crystallizer finished. GG. Right. Oh, wow. I've just realized I had this set to store 30,000 buckets, and we could only store 8,000. Yeah, it definitely makes life easier, Naka. It does make life considerably easier. Alright, there we go. Right, so that will at least store a little bit more distilled water. I need to get the next 4 amp UIV hatch needs to go to the microminer, I think. To speed up some of these missions a little bit. What are you working on at the moment? You are doing... Wait, what are you processing at the minute? I'm assuming the magnetic capacitor dust. Oh my god, all that neutronium that we had has pretty much gone already. Okay, I'm going to have to bulk craft... oh, we also still need to get rid of one of these. And just for... Now that we've got a few more people here from the start, does anybody remember me making a second tier 10 microminer at any point? Because I don't... I'm pretty sure I didn't, but we've managed to acquire one. So unless anybody remembers me actually making it, I'm going to avoid that. This wouldn't have been today, by the way, Carl. This would have been some point over the last few weeks. But I don't remember making one. We've had a few situations where some situations where microminers have disappeared. Some situations where we've somehow managed to dupe microminers. And I think this is one of those situations, because I definitely don't remember making one. No, this one we never lost at any point. This isn't one that we ever lost. It was the stabilized ones that we'd lost in the past. Which hopefully we haven't lost any more now. Although there do appear to be some missing. Ah, no, but they're used up in that. Or one of them is. I think I might have lost another stabilized microminer somewhere. But no, that one I definitely haven't made any or cheated in any other ones for the tier 10s. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Since we definitely shouldn't have it. Right, I think I'm going to call it a day there, and then I'm going to go and I am going to see if I can fix all this stuff. I've been trying throughout this entire playthrough, I've tried to do basically nothing progress-wise off stream. I kind of need to now, though, I think. So I'm probably, once I've had something to eat, I'm probably going to spend a bit of time going through, trying to fix as much of this as possible before tomorrow, so we can actually start making a little bit more progress overall. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. I do massively appreciate it. Oh, there's my alien scrap. Apologies that I was in a little bit of a rough mood today. I had a feeling I was going to end up having a bad day today, and unfortunately I was right again. But I still keep trying regardless. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow we can make a little bit more progress. I'll try. Hopefully by then I'll have all of the ore processing set up. Hopefully I'll have all of the ore processed. Also, we're getting neutronium dust into here as well, which we don't really want, but I don't think it makes too much of a difference. But yeah, we'll hopefully be able to make some more progress tomorrow. Not necessarily progress in the pack, but progress towards getting everything up to speed now that we have all the power we need. We just need to be able to make sure everything else can run at reasonable speeds and we don't run out of anything. Like neutronium, like we keep running out of. But anyway, thank you everybody for being here. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully around about the same time. So have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. And I will see you all soon. You know, there's some days like that. Yeah, everybody has those days. They suck. You just got to deal with them as best you can. That's all you can do. Anyway, guys, I will catch you all tomorrow. Just take care of yourselves.